Unfortunately, one of the cranes from 400 Central, that is right there at 4th Street and 1st Avenue South, fell off that building. Those are the residences at 400 Central in downtown St. Pete here. The developers of that said that we are grateful that no one was injured in the area and that the only damage was to bricks and not to people. But that is a concern in these hurricane force winds, that these cranes cannot handle this. Luke Clary has moved over to the scene of that crane collapse there. Luke, what are you seeing? I see, unlike Tropicana Field there, that area is cordoned off with police tape.
Yeah, that's right. They've got a number of city blocks here cordoned off, a perimeter around this area, because it could still be hazardous with that tower crane laying precariously over the building next to it. Now I'm standing right here on 1st Avenue, and we have a view straight down the street here toward 4th Street South, and you may be able to just make out through the trees there the crane collapsed onto that building there. This is the Tampa Bay Times building, and that appears to be the Johnson Pope law firm up there, the offices there that were hit. And it's just so incredibly fortunate that this was not a residential building that was struck by the crane. We have some aerial video to show you as well, and from that vantage point you're able to get a better sense of the damage here on this building and just how remarkable a scene this is. From the best that I can tell, it looks like just the top portion of the crane fell down, so much of the crane structure still remains intact up against that tall apartment building. As you mentioned, there's been a lot of development over the last several years in downtown St. Pete. A few tall buildings were already here, but right now the building that you might be able to see here on the left will be one of the tallest buildings in the state of Florida when it's completed here. And so, as you mentioned, this was a significant concern for people during Helene. They saw these cranes swaying in the wind, and once again with Milton, people worried that these cranes would not be able to withstand gusts of up to and exceeding 100 miles per hour. We're told that that is within their operational limits, but as you can clearly see in this case, the crane malfunctioned, and yeah, as the developer said, it's just incredibly fortunate that it was bricks, not people, who were in harm's way. The developers are going to be sending some engineers here, we understand. They may already be on the ground assessing the damage and thinking about next steps.
Luke, let me just ask you, a lot of people live downtown, a lot of people work in downtown St. Pete there. How is that affecting their ability to get to their homes, probably apartments in this case, and also their businesses? It looks like a pretty wide swath of street there is blocked off.
From the best that I can tell, the areas that are cordoned off in this perimeter appear to mostly be commercial. And again, yeah, just so incredibly fortunate that this building is a commercial one, that nobody was in the office. Maybe, Daisy, if you want to turn the camera around, you can see there has been a large group of people gathering here just to survey the damage. So, you know, this group here has ebbed and flowed throughout the afternoon. You know, it's just what we're all doing here in the aftermath of Milton is just trying to assess the damage and understand, you know, get our arms around exactly what it is that we're dealing with here.